Greetings Gemini, hey, a warm welcome to you all and thank you for joining me. This is your March reading for 2021, so welcome. It has been a while since I've been on the line on the channel making videos for you all, but you have been on my mind, so I thank you for tuning back in and being ready to uplift the messages that are arriving. 2020 was a pretty full-on year that heralded great change as we move into this new decade of the 20s, and I think it set the pace, the energy, the expectations and the understanding and awareness that we must perceive of change for the next 10 years at least. I mean, let's face it, we are on the cusp of the dawning of the age of Aquarius, and we know that's going to bring much change in. So 21 is still amplifying this huge degree of new awareness, new awakenings, the new dawn of a new age, new paradigms, new timelines, just new. So if you can grasp that and get your head around it and not be afraid of the changes that are coming, then eventually you will fare well, you will succeed, you will understand more, you will be more in a place of readiness and willingness to be involved in the new reality of life that is going on here on the planet. Part of the changes that are being brought in are the big external planets that are ruling a lot of what is happening, and at the moment this year Saturn and Uranus are playing fairly big roles. Now Saturn is the king of karma. He was fairly active last year and he is still active this year, so we see a lot of karmic processes taking place and a lot of karmic relationships, dealings with things. This karma is many lifelongs old, so if you have a karmic history and if you've come in with lots of karma in your own birth date, you will be experiencing many energy fields that open up to karmic release or healing or going over it again and again. That's the nature of what Saturn does. So apart from just that, Saturn is the ruler of authority figures, boundaries, traditional establishments and energies like that. Now Uranus is the ruler of Aquarius, that air sign energy, which is what yourself is, and Uranus represents more innovation, freedom, change and escaping from our comfort zone. Now there are three major squares this year of Saturn and Uranus, and they are planets that oppose each other that really strongly. So the first square is actually today on February the 17th when I am recording this video. There will be two other times during the year that this square happens. One is on June the 14th and one is on December the 24th. So when these squares are really active and prevalent, we may find internally within ourselves that we're getting pulled, should I be this or act like this or follow this, or should I be freer or should I constrict and come back down to earth a bit more? You'll feel it internally, but we will feel it at the collective and the global energy field as well. So those are just some of the energies that 21 is going to be pushing through to us on a recycle button, if you like, throughout the year. So we're going to be re-feeling a lot of these timelines or events. They will pop up again and again throughout the year, so expect that as well. To come back to your own personal reading, we will use most of these decks of cards that you see here, possibly not this one, but definitely this one. This is the Star Tarot deck. This is a Doreen Virtue Pixies and Fairies. This is another Doreen Virtue Angels and Saints, and this is the Chakra Insight Oracle deck. But before we start, I did some intuitive work for you, and these were the messages that I got. The first thing that came to mind was the word finances and jobs and introspection around your finances or career. Some of you may have invested over time, which should hold you in good stead. Now this investment could be financial investment, such as money in the shares or money in property or money in a bank, but it feels to me as though a lot of you have something that you could pull on for reserves, or that you are maybe thinking of adding to, or you are intermingling it, or you are pondering what to do with it. I feel like that finances could be playing on your mind. Now the other thing I said here was possibly part of this introspect you have invested could be your knowledge or expertise within a career field or a sector of employment as well. So that could become quite valuable for you in terms of negotiations, or in terms of it being like a treasure trove. So your expertise or your knowledge could be becoming like how you gain extra money, or how you earn finances, or what keeps you buoyant this year. Also, possibly some of you may have a stash of money that may pay big dividends. And again, I'm thinking, was that a share market? Was it a property you had? Was it some jewellery? Was it some stocks and shares that someone gifted to you or betrothed to you somehow? Now, if some of you need extra finance, I've got here to dig deep and look around. Go back in time. Because there's something that you might be missing. I see you as, if you need more money, it's available somehow, but some of you may have to dig deep to get it. Also, it says to talk to family. They may be able to help. Now then, the other message that came was to remove something to make room for the new. Now, I don't know what that is in reference to. This is a group reading, so individually for you that might be more personal. What is it that they're telling you to remove to make some room for something new? There were some key words that popped up, and they were tenacity, restraint, pondering, and being at a crossroads. So again, those keywords might be words that you could utilize throughout the month. They might be powerful, positive. You could meditate with them. It's up to you how you choose to use them. Let's start with this deck first. I'll put these ones a little bit out of the way so we have more room to utilize this. So Gemini, what is in store for you for March 2021? Let's have a look. The Three of Swords, and it has reversed itself, so I will look into what that means. It's not anyone's favourite card to get, especially at the beginning of a reading, but it could mean a whole host of different things. It is often about threesomes being involved, about relationships, about feeling a little bit of hurt in the heart, pain, but it is reversed. Now, so we also have the Knight of Coins, and then we have the Five of Coins, and it makes sense to me that the money aspects are coming out, because for some reason I picked up that finance is on your mind. We also have this first card was the yellow solar plexus chakra, which is the stomach area of the body through here. This could need strengthening for you. So some of you may feel a bit deflated, or you may feel as though you haven't got your mojo or your full strength. Some of you could benefit by doing yoga or physical strengthening exercises of that part of the body, as well as wearing yellow and eating yellow foods. Now these blue ones to do with money, about communication as well. So whether it's written communication or verbal, it might be wise for you to think of how you are communicating about money, either to yourself, especially if you are feeling any lack, like self-doubt, thinking you're not good enough, or thinking you don't deserve it, or the need to communicate with others about potential pay rise, or applying for jobs and making sure your job applications are good and sturdy and being worthy of being selected for an interview, because that's definitely what that card can represent, the Knight of Coins. Let's just carry on. This is for Gemini for March. The King of Wands, that is often a fire sign person, can be a sort of entrepreneurial, someone who could be a business person, potentially a new employer as well. Yay, I'm really glad that card came out, and I'm glad it came out right over that Three of Swords. So we're saying here that if you pull on the universe's energy or cosmic energy, there is strength out there for you to re-strengthen either the physical body, whether you may have had an illness or that part of your body through the solar plexus has been weakened for some reason or another, or whether it was emotional strength that has been weakened through something, a trauma, a pain in the heart. Now, it could have been involving a relationship that has recently ended or passed, and there may have been 3 people involved. So it could have been 3 friends, and there's been an argument or discourse or disharmony, and it has fallen by the wayside. Or it could have even been a closer, intimate, personal relationship that didn't manage to get through some lack of communication, because the swords are your sign, they're air sign energy, and they always refer to the need to communicate in life. So when this is reversed, it may have been that there was a lack of communication between the people involved and that the relationship has fallen by the wayside. It could also be that physical heart pain has been involved here, whether someone had a heart attack or chest pain of some sort, and there could have even been a minor operation, and that they are in the mode of recovery now, or that perhaps it was worse than anticipated and that it is going on for longer. So whatever way we look at that Three of Swords, because there are many different ways to look at it, the Strength card came in underneath to deploy some sort of strength and balance. So this is the sacral chakra area, which is where we get our passion from and our ideas and our concepts. And that is also merging into the yellow because it's one of the lighter sacral chakra areas. Finding inner strength and bringing that into any situation that may be off balancing you or giving you lack, or lack of motivation, or lack of strength, or lack of flair, or lack of wellness, or anything. It could be referring to this Strength card coming in. So if you have felt down or not activated enough, then this Strength card will be the one for you to focus on in the reading. Now we have another one that's come out, and it's also come out upside down. It's the Two of Cups. It makes me feel that some of you may have recently lost a love relationship for some reason, and it would have been one that you had great hopes for. It could have even been a very potentially promising relationship, because this is often the soulmate card. It can sometimes even be the twin flame card. There's also, for some of you, possibly you may have experienced something like a miscarriage as well, or the loss of someone else in your life. It may be someone who's passed over to the other side, but it may just be relationships that seem to have moved away from you, and you've lost some close companionship or friendship, or family members or something. They've moved away, or there's been disagreement or disharmony. So there's a feeling in here that seems to be telling a wee bit of a story about that's going on. Let's see what else. So they're jumping out now, really wanting to. I think that could be me. I think I've picked them up the wrong way, so I'm more inclined to want to spin them around. So the Four of Wands is about happy homes, and it can often be about shifting homes. So some of you may even be moving out of relationships and moving into a new area or home. The Princess of Wands is, well, we've got the Wands cards down here. She can be a younger person that could be on your mind, as could the Knight of Coins be. These can be siblings, perhaps an earth sign and a fire sign person, maybe a son and a daughter, but it doesn't have to represent the specific sexes of people. These people could be family members around you. They could even be involved in this whole sort of moving on or separating or moving into different places. You also have the Three of Cups here as well. So the Three of Cups is known as the sisterhood card. It's like someone may have your back. Even though you feel over here that there may have been something that wasn't necessarily flowing well or giving off positive vibes, and it might be on the way out, or you might have wanted to move away from it, there's also this feeling that there are other people around you, and some of them could be family members, and some are definitely friends and community that also are here to look after you and have your back. This card can also represent three people again. So we've had this three thing going on. Maybe you have the potentiality to get back with these three friends, if it was three friends that you've had a disturbance or a falling out with. And there's a possibility that this could happen through communication. If they're not the same people as what was over here, then these people, I feel, are really there for you as friends or perhaps family members. This can also represent harmony and attending events where positivity and happiness is around, as can this card, the Four of Wands. It can represent pregnancies, the birth of new babies, graduation ceremonies, engagements, shifting house, sometimes going on a holiday, going to a holiday house, feeling as though you might be in a happier place with a new home, and it might be because you have left something behind that was unstable. There's definitely something in here about moving, and it could have to be associated with your money that was on your mind earlier. It could be this Knight of Coins up here and the Five of Coins, which we haven't talked that much about. It could be that some of you are potentially in for a pay rise or a pay increase or a new job coming in. This Knight of Coins is a very well considered card in the tarot deck. He is an earth sign energy, and he can be a specific person. So he could be someone who represents grounded stability and caring and dependability around you. If it's not that, he often represents your journey through the realm of maybe a career or a financial disposition in life, and he takes one step at a time, and he is beginning some sort of journey. He is solid and dependable and logical. So that is why I said at the very beginning about this finances that might have been on your mind, that somewhere in the background there is something worth going back over or thinking about more deeply, because there's something stable for you around a financial aspect in your life, especially if you've felt worried about it. We did see the Five of Coins pop in. This can mean brief instability in finances. It can mean a slight lack of money. It can mean that perhaps you have to rethink a budget for a month. You may have to not buy things, put something on hold. It can also mean that you feel as though you've been left out of a community, and yet you had another community step in beneath you. It's as if you are walking away from, or perhaps been shut out of one community over here, but you're being included in another community somewhere else. So you have options, you have choices one way or another. I do think it affects you at the emotional level, and you've been perhaps feeling a bit uncertain on this journey that's coming and going. This one here can also mean a little bit of physical ill health, so sometimes a chest infection, a cold or cough, feeling a bit flat, a bit deflated, taking some time out to rest as well. Sometimes it can even mean like an ankle injury or a wrist injury, so take care if you are out and about, and watch where you walk, because sometimes you could trip over something. The King of Wands we haven't gone into too much, but he could technically be a new employer, someone you team up with in an entrepreneurial manner, someone to do with business. He could be a potential new loving interest for some of you. He could be the person who was over here, but I don't feel that he is. To me, it feels as though there's more than one story going on, that we're talking about several different aspects of your life, and I think this one was very personal and relationship driven. This one here has to do with your money and finances and career. Perhaps he does as well. These ones seem separate down here as well. Perhaps, as I said, you're thinking of shifting, or there's something about your home. Maybe some of you are renovating, spending money on a home, either purchasing a new one or selling a home. If you are doing any of those things, there's good interest in this deck that means movement. It means potentially fairly positive energy coming in. This Princess of Wands can also be about new ideas, creativity and passion. So let's see what else is in store for you for Gemini for March 2021. What would you like them to know, see, feel, understand, listen to, meditate with? Love life. Your love life. Yeah, well, it might very well have been in your, radar or on your mind. It says the basis of your question involves your romantic life, which is now changing for the better. So we've seen, we saw quite a lot of love potentially around with this Two of Cups and the Three of Swords. And even with the Four of Wands, that can also mean propositions of love, happy homes, blended families, moving in together. So they're telling you to love life as well as your love life is on your mind, relationships. I feel as though some of you have had a bit of turbulence with relationships and things. A daughter could be on your mind. We've had her show up before with the Princess of Wands. For those of you who have a daughter, the answer to your question involves a daughter. Is this meaning you need to spend more time or energy with her? Is there something she needs help or support with? Is she supporting or helping you? Are you reconnecting with her? Has there been a separation from her? Could it be that she was one of these over here that was having the separation? Admit your true feelings to yourself. Be honest with yourself. Only you know what it is that you truly desire. So that card is very much in line with some of the words I gave you at the end, which were tenacity, restraint, pondering, and at a crossroads. And those words would make you think that you need to focus on the things that you really want for yourself, and don't be untruthful about it and don't hide from it. You know, focus on yourself at this point of the year, and especially in this decade even, because there is so much going on globally and galactically. So practice, practice, practice. With daily practice, you can polish your skills and talents and increase your confidence. So we saw here with this first card, we felt that there had been perhaps a lack of confidence, or you'd lost some of your mojo, or your strength, your inner strength, or feeling as though you were in a position of power. And then of course we saw the strength card come back, and that is all about regaining confidence as well. So there's a lot in here about re-establishing some internal and personal confidence within yourself. And you have got a lot of the yellows and oranges within the reading, and they are the sacral chakra energy field and also the solar plexus. So if there is any part of that of your body that was shut down or needed activation in those areas, then focus on them and bring them into the now and this reality, and work on strengthening them and really paying attention to them to re-harness power, strength, personal growth, and just feeling stronger about the decisions you make and more empowered about yourself as well. So let us just briefly have a look here for you, because we're moving through these cards fairly quickly. This is for Gemini. Oh. Commitment, confidence. Oh, St. Michael, the Archangel. Optimism and retreat. Now, retreat kind of matches a little bit. This Five of Pentacles could be looked at as retreat as well. It sometimes means taking time out, slowing things down, contemplating, reassessing, doing due diligence, and strategizing. But it could also mean a retreat, as in going to a spa and taking time out in bliss retreat. So either one of those is how you could, depending on the mood that you're in, or depending on how your world is revolving, which retreat is it that they're talking about. Optimism from the guardian angel as well, feeling optimistic about things. We've seen that come in like with the word practice, where there was something else in here. The strength card, admit your true feelings to yourself. They all fit in together as well, and feeling optimistic. Confidence and commitment. You've got Archangel Michael coming in for this. Utilize his power and energy. He is a great protector. You can call upon him for the month, and he will give you confidence if you are lacking in it for some reason, especially if there's been some sort of upset or issue around relationships or something in the past. And commitment, feeling committed to yourself, other relationships, other journeys that you've been on, or committed to your career or a certain goal that you have in mind. We go back again to tenacity, restraint, pondering, and crossroads as those key words, and knowing that commitment will get you from A to B, and it will get you there with the quickest pace and the most firm boundary as well. So one last card, preferably just one from this deck, and we will see what comes for you guys. Wow, self-esteem. And we've talked about this quite strongly in the reading. So confidence, self-love, self-worth and pride. I'm going to read the words from the book for you for this one because we have seen so much of it in here talking about your ability to regain some strength and some self-confidence and some self-esteem as well, and perhaps due to something that may have happened that has been a bit painful one way or another, whether it's physical or emotional, spiritual or mental. So let me zoom down on this card. The others can stay in the background, it's not a major, but I do want to read from the book. And if you notice, it adds up to 3, it's number 21, and of course the 3 of Swords was the first card that came out, and we had another 3 which was the 3 of Cups. So the 3 could be playing a really powerful role in some sort of synchronistic events for you as well, or something that's tying into this background energy that's going on. And I love the fact that it's also for this close-up, we can see all these beautiful 3 hearts over here in the background as well. So they are also emulating heart, love and energy. It is time to rise up and fully embrace the unique individual you came here to be. Follow your inner voice and feel great about being who you are, expressing yourself in simple, authentic ways. If we always seek to please others or fit in, our confidence and self-esteem will always rely upon their approval. It is time to take back your deep inner power and claim a sense of confidence in simply being you. Acknowledge your very best qualities, take pride in how you present yourself, and learn to love your imperfections as essential aspects of what make you the uniquely divine individual that you are. This card is an invitation to discover who you are and the power within your true self. Immerse yourself in activities that increase your self-awareness and confidence. Take up a hobby or learn a new skill. Spend time among friends who see you in your highest light. Spend time in nature alone. Take fun risks. Audition for a play or write a song or get your hair cut. Write down what you are grateful for, what you are good at and what you love about yourself. Spend time daily doing things that wake you up to the you that you really are deep inside. In a basic sense, we can build our self-esteem in simple ways by eating more nutritious foods, by exercising in ways that make us feel alive, and by honouring our need for rest and rejuvenation. As we expand our energy and nourish ourselves, we naturally enhance the vibration and outward expression of our being. We find ourselves feeling more alive, more connected, and more excited to be exactly who we are. Let your self-confidence shine like an inner sun today. Take the risk to be and express who you really are, and watch the world around you celebrate at your light coming back in and your proud self-esteem. So there you are, Gemini. It's a lovely reading of strength. There's so much strength within this reading, and so much of the yellow and the orange colours that came through, which I think again were just reverberating that message out to you to make sure that you don't underestimate yourself, and whatever goals you are setting, to have confidence and know that Archangel Michael can be there to help also bring about protection and confidence for you at all levels too. Thank you for being here. I really enjoy doing the readings for you. I love it when you leave your comments. Please check your moon and rising signs, and I look forward to just retaining the energy of the Team Celestial community that we all have going. So be safe everyone, be well. Namaste.